The haunting of Briar Manor. In the heart of a forgotten village, shrouded in mist and mystery, stood Briar Manor. Its once grand facade was now a crumbling relic, vines creeping up its stone walls like fingers grasping for a long-lost secret. The villagers spoke of it in hushed tones, their eyes darting nervously as they passed by. They warned outsiders to stay away, for Briar Manor was said to be haunted. The manor had belonged to the Briar family for generations, a lineage steeped in wealth and tragedy. The last of the Briars, Lady Evelyn, had vanished one stormy night, leaving behind only whispers of her fate. Some claimed she had been taken by the spirits that roamed the halls, while others believed she had simply fled from the weight of her family's dark legacy. Whatever the truth, the manor fell into disrepair, and the villagers avoided it like the plague. One fateful evening, a curious traveler named Thomas arrived in the village. He was drawn to the manor, intrigued by the tales of its haunting. With a lantern in hand and a heart full of bravado, he made his way up the overgrown path, the air thick with an unsettling silence. As he approached the entrance, the heavy wooden door creaked open as if inviting him in. Inside, the air was stale, and the shadows danced along the walls, whispering secrets of the past. Thomas felt a chill run down his spine, but his curiosity pushed him forward. He wandered through the grand foyer, where dust motes floated like lost souls in the beam of his lantern. Portraits of the Briar family lined the walls, their eyes seeming to follow him, judging his every move. As he explored deeper into the manor, he stumbled upon a hidden door behind a tattered tapestry. It was slightly ajar, and a faint light flickered from within. Heart racing, Thomas pushed it open and stepped into a dimly lit room. The air was thick with the scent of decay, and in the center stood an ornate mirror, its surface clouded with age. As he approached, the mirror began to shimmer, revealing not his reflection, but a scene from the past. He saw Lady Evelyn, her face pale and eyes wide with terror, trapped in a dance with shadowy figures that swirled around her. Their laughter echoed in the room, a haunting melody that sent shivers down his spine. Thomas felt an inexplicable pull towards the mirror, as if it were calling to him. Suddenly, the laughter ceased, and the figures turned their gaze towards him. Their eyes were hollow, voids of darkness that seemed to reach into his very soul. Panic surged through him, and he stumbled back, but the door had vanished, leaving him trapped in the room with the mirror. Desperate, Thomas turned back to the mirror, and to his horror he saw Lady Evelyn's face again. But this time, she was looking directly at him. "Help me," she whispered, her voice a mere breath against the stillness. "They won't let me go." The shadows began to swirl faster, closing in on him. Thomas realized that the spirits were not just figments of the past. They were the remnants of those who had been trapped within the manor, unable to escape their fate. He had to find a way to free them, to break the curse that bound them to Briar Manor. With newfound determination, he reached out to the mirror, feeling its cold surface beneath his fingertips. "What do I need to do?" he shouted, his voice echoing in the confined space. The mirror rippled, and the shadows paused, as if considering his plea. "Find the heart of the manor!" Lady Evelyn's voice echoed, "and release us from our torment!" Without hesitation, Thomas turned and raced through the manor, guided by an unseen force. He navigated through the labyrinth of rooms, each one filled with echoes of sorrow and despair. Finally, he found himself in the grand ballroom, where a chandelier hung precariously from the ceiling, its crystals glinting like stars in the darkness. In the center of the room lay a dusty piano, its keys yellowed with age. Thomas approached it, feeling an inexplicable connection. He sat down and began to play, the haunting melody filling the air. As the notes flowed from his fingertips, the shadows began to swirl around him, drawn to the music. With each chord, the spirits emerged, their faces twisted in anguish. But as the melody reached its crescendo, something miraculous happened. The shadows began to dissolve, their forms fading into the light. Lady Evelyn appeared before him, her expression one of gratitude and peace. "Thank you," she whispered, her voice now clear and serene. "You have freed us." As the last note lingered in the air, the spirits vanished, leaving behind a sense of calm. The manor, once filled with despair, now felt lighter, as if a great weight had been lifted. Thomas stood alone in the ballroom, the echoes of the past fading into silence. With a final glance at the now quiet Briar Manor, he stepped outside, the door closing softly behind him. The villagers would no longer speak of the haunting, for the spirits had found their peace. And as Thomas walked away, he carried with him the secret of Briar Manor, a tale of sorrow transformed into liberation, hidden in the whispers of the wind.